All right, welcome everyone. This is Roger Connect, and I'm with Scott McKinley. We're going to be doing a presentation today discussing how you can actually have a successful accounting, bookkeeping, and tax practice offering consultative services. And one of the things that I'd like to emphasize as we do this discussion today is it does not matter whether or not you're in the process of starting or building your firm. We're going to be discussing what it is that you can be doing as the owner of the company, however, to ensure that you're actually growing the business, generating the revenues that you need, and making the profits that you expect. But more importantly, building value in your business so that it's not simply just a job, but really a company that you're starting to build and be proud of. So with that in mind, Scott, I'm excited to have you here. You're one of our more famous presenters. You've recently been going out and speaking quite a bit at a variety of venues and speaking to accountants, bookkeepers, tax preparers, business consultants about their practices and what they're doing. How would you like to actually start this discussion?
Well, thank you for that introduction. I think the one thing to point out is that the purpose of this webinar that we're doing today is to share with you some of the things that we've learned over the years about building a successful accounting practice that's yours, but not having to do it on your own. And you commented that I'm one of the more well-known presenters. I've been getting a lot of feedback recently about the YouTube videos that you and I filmed, and it seems like people are starting to see those more and more. So if you've never seen the YouTube videos that Roger and I have put out there, you should do yourself a favor and see if you can track those down, because there's such good information in those as well. So really, what I'd like to do is just jump right in, because time is money, and our goal today is to share where the real opportunities are. I've traveled the world teaching these classes. Roger, I know you've traveled as well, and you've had multiple conversations with, hundreds, if not thousands of individuals that are looking to use their skills in bookkeeping, accounting, and taxes, but they're striking out because they're looking in the wrong place. And so the first thing that I want to do is show you some numbers to point you in the right direction. There is excellent money to be made out there in this industry, but a lot of the times people are looking in the wrong place. So that's the first objective that I've got today, is to really point out where the real opportunities are. The next thing that I'm going to be teaching is how to start the right way and build that successful practice that you've always wanted. Or if you've already got your practice started, how do we take it to the next level? A lot of times people get going and then they plateau, and they can't get past the ceiling. And so we're going to be talking about some things and some tools that are out there that we're going to make available to you listening. This is going to be we've never done a seminar like this or a webinar like this before, correct, Roger?
That is correct. And one of the things I'd like to add to what you're sharing here is I've over the years noticed there's three types of individuals that have their own accounting firms. First and foremost, I think it's those that kind of get into this as a favor, individuals that are helping friends or family with businesses, doing it on the side. It's simply something that they're doing because it's their expertise and they're asked to do it. But there are those that do this as a way of providing for their family, whether it be part-time, full-time, and they're doing this seriously, and they're working with clients with the intentions of really making a difference within those companies. But more important than that, I think they find that this can evolve beyond just a job. They find that they're in a position where they can literally take this and start hiring employees. They can start specializing in industries. They can grow their firms, and literally they become tax experts in their communities, accounting experts in their communities. They're helping with mergers and acquisitions. They're doing a variety of things that's really benefiting those clients that they serve. And so what we want to do is make sure that in this process that they're growing their businesses, whichever stage they're in, and they're doing it not so much as a job, but literally they're doing it with the intent of building a business that has that value that we're hoping to help them achieve. So that's what we're really, I think, going to address here in the next hour.
I think what's awesome about what you just said is that we work with all types of people. We work with every type of business. So it really means that there's not anybody that's out there that we couldn't start giving that assistance to and helping. And that's the purpose of this webinar, is to share these things with you. The reaching potential clients tends to be one of the biggest challenges that the people that I've worked with over the last, boy, since 2006, that's been the biggest challenge, is what do I say to reach those potential clients? And so we're going to spend some time really sharing with you what we've learned is the secret to getting those clients to listen and to actually engage with you instead of just going, yeah, bookkeeping, accounting, I get it. So lastly, the goal that the last one is to talk about what universal accounting does and what we can do to help your business become more valuable. And when I said that we've never done a webinar like this before, I mean, universal accounting has never had the type of incredible offer that we're going to be talking about at the end of the webinar. So you're going to want to make sure and stick around to the end, because what we're going to be talking about when we're done here will blow you away. Agreed, Roger?
Very much agreed. This is something that we've never done before, and I'm excited to be able to offer it today. So this is going to be a wonderful little experience.
I think those people that are going to be watching this are going to just, their jaws are going to drop. So stick around to the end. It will be worth it. So why is this different? Why is this seminar different? Tell me, Roger. What's the first thing that you?
Well, one of the things that I would stress is the fact that we're going to be going through what I feel every accounting firm needs to be addressing today, because the market's changing. Artificial intelligence is now affecting how the software companies are using their way of providing accounting software. I really feel that there is a shift happening within the accounting profession, that if you want to be in your market the premier accounting service, you have to be proactive in what you're doing today to remain relevant. And so what we're going to be talking about today are the things that you need to be doing, not just as a person, not just as an individual, to remain on the top of your game, but also what you need to be doing so that you're not alone in this process, to ensure that you've got the support you need. But lastly, it all comes down to two key elements: confidence and competence. And I believe through the course of today's discussion within the hour, we're going to be discussing things that you can do to remain confident in your abilities to provide services to your clients and get paid well for it. But secondly, it's the competence. There is a skill that's needed to do this. Just not any one person can hang up a shingle and say, I'm going to be a bookkeeper today. There is a talent that's needed, a skill set that's needed. And what we're able to discuss and offer in that regard are various trainings and certifications. But the beauty of this is those two things are going to be, I think, key as we have this discussion today. And we've been doing this since 1979. I mean, we're not just new on the block. We've got tried and proven techniques. We've got a proven turnkey system. And one of the things that I'd also stress is we have the coaches, the support staff to achieve this. It's not as if this is a one-man shop. I'm not professing to be the one who knows all. I'm not the be-all, end-all of the accounting community, but I do have a team of individuals that in fact are that. We collectively are able to work with the firms that we do and help them achieve the successes they are having, because we are the experts in this area.
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of times, just having those coaches that you can turn to for perspective, that will get you out of a pinch or a rut that you might be buried underneath. But just being able to go to somebody and turn and say, hey, what do you think of this situation? Or what should I do? What are your recommendations? Makes all the difference in the world. And that's why you get assigned to work with specific coaches as a student with universal accounting. That's one of the biggest things that separates us from the industry. Of all those schools that are doing continuing education, we know having that perspective of somebody else changes everything. So good. Roger, tell us about you.
I love this. So I realize that we're each going to take a quick minute here to explain who we are, and perhaps there are some that don't know who Universal is or myself, but let me just simply share. I'm the president of Universal Accounting. I've been such for a few years now, and in doing so, I've really embraced what it is that I feel is unique about Universal. But what I want to do is share right here a little bit about who I am. Basically, I've been doing presentations or seminars to accounting professionals back since about 1998, and specifically traveling and doing seminars since 2002. Did my first seminar with a number of accounting firms up in Seattle, and since then I've traveled to the United States and Canada. It's just been an amazing run. At times I was doing as many as 40 events a year, traveling around doing keynote addresses, seminars, workshops, and in this process met tens and hundreds and thousands of accounting professionals and have worked with more than 1,000 firms and helping them start and build their practices. So a great deal of success there. I was a co-author or helped write a book called In the Black that we use here at Universal Accounting that is, I think, in my world, a revolutionary thing within the small business community. So I quite confidently speak of it. And then lastly, I think it'd be appropriate to share that I have a lovely wife and 3 beautiful children, each of whom I love and I'm very proud of. The beauty is that I'm able to, through Universal Accounting and this passion that I have for the profession, provide for my family. And that's one of the beauties that I think is going on here.
I think that's great. My name is Scott McKinley, for those of you that I haven't had a chance to meet. I've been working with the Universal Accounting since 2006. I started working as the senior marketing coach around 2008, 2009. And like Roger, I've had the opportunity to travel the world teaching individuals that are at some place in the process of starting their own practice, getting clients, developing the practice of their dreams. I've gone to other continents teaching people and have loved every minute of it. One of the things that makes me unique as a marketing coach, as a business coach, is that I don't believe that it's just tools that are going to make you successful. It is your thoughts. It is the paradigms. It is the things that are existing in your mind. And so back in 2013, I got certified as a law of attraction practitioner. And so I've been able to apply those principles to the teachings with the students that I've worked with and have gone on to see really incredible things and amazing things happen. Married. I've been married for 8, going on 9 years now. I have a beautiful blended family. I have a 19-year-old son, a 11-year-old daughter, a 6-year-old son, and a 2-year-old, soon to be 27, 28-year-old little girl. She runs the house. So I love my family. I love that I get to do this for a living. It has given me the opportunity to travel and share experiences with people all over the world. So really grateful to be in the position that I'm in right now. Now, Universal Accounting, since '79, like Roger said, we've got experience working with business owners in the field of bookkeeping and taxes and QuickBooks and marketing and building value in business and helping people understand the concepts of accounting and how they need to be applied to the business. Prior to working with us, what we found is that a lot of people have done things right. Many people have gone out and they've stumbled into things and they've been able to put into practice some of the techniques that we teach people. But a large majority of the people that I know I've met, and Roger, I'm sure you could probably back up the sentiment, have done things the wrong way. So some of the common mistakes that we've found business owners make is, first off, they are offering their skills to the wrong audience. And that's definitely something that I said was our goal today, was to help you shift. If you're thinking about starting or you're wanting to use your skills, let's point you in the right direction. Another thing that we've seen people do is they spend thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars the wrong way in their marketing trying to develop these programs, and they fail. So what we like to do is pass on the years of experience that Universal Accounting has that can get you the results right away, the results that you're looking for. Lastly, probably one of the biggest mistakes, and I see this on a regular basis in just the networking groups that I go to, is that accountants and bookkeepers, tax preparers, they just say the wrong things. They're talking to the right audience, but they just aren't saying the right things. So the hard way is convincing themselves that they need to go back to school, they need to get a master's degree, they need to become CPAs, or they go out and they spend thousands of dollars hiring a telemarketing team, or they send out mailers, or worse, and this is something that I've heard and I've encountered over the years, is they've gone out, they've purchased radio ads, or even worse, TV commercials. And I just think, oh my gosh, who watches TV commercials anymore? We all have DVRs. We pause it, we go to the bathroom, we get a drink, we come back, we fast forward through the commercials, and we get back to our program. So those bookkeepers and accountants and tax preparers that are spending money on TV commercials or even radio commercials, don't do it. Save your money. They focus on what they do. They aren't talking about what business owners get. They're talking about the language of accounting, which obviously they understand. If you're a CPA, look, I get it. You can talk all about benchmarking, and you can speak about reconciliation, and you can say KPIs, but that doesn't relate to most business owners. And so you're squandering your opportunity to say the right thing and get that potential client engaged. That's the hard way. So if you're thinking about doing this, before you go out and do it the hard way, like so many other people have done, we want to share some secrets with you today so you can cheat and you can get the easy way. I like to say that we give cheat codes to starting a successful practice, because that's what we do. When a student starts working with Universal Accounting, they're inheriting a system of the right and wrong way to do things. They get to build their practice based off of the ashes of other people that have made mistakes with their failed practices. Anything you want to add to that, Roger?
Yes, one of the things that I think is going on is in business, you're finding that individuals make it more difficult than it needs to be. They feel like they have to reinvent the wheel. And the reality of it is accounting is an old enough profession that there is a turnkey process to starting and building a successful firm. There is a turnkey process as to what services you need to be offering and what the fees are you should be charging. There's a difference between hourly rate, flat rate, and value-based pricing. And what we want to do is basically help individuals take the confusion out of doing all of this and literally focus on what they want to do, which is serve the clients, take care of the accounting, help them have the information they're needing as clients to make the right business decisions for their companies to grow. And so for us to help the accountant move through all of those things and take away the frustrations, that's what the key is, because so many of the accountants and bookkeepers, they'll admit their love isn't the marketing, their passion isn't the sale, it's the doing of the work and helping the client. So what we want to do is help them quickly get through the marketing and confidently do the selling so that they can actually do what they're passionate about. And that's, I think, what's key.
I agree. I definitely agree. So those of you that are listening today, do you want to know what other bookkeepers and accountants and tax preparers have done to make growing a valuable practice seamless? Now, I can't see the responses, so I'm assuming people are saying yes. I'm assuming that people are responding. I mean, you're watching this, so let's talk about it. Because Roger and I already know it. We already know what will make people successful. So you're here for a reason, and we really want to teach to people that want this information. So if you're watching and if you're sticking around to this, these are the 3 secrets that we're going to be sharing today. First off, accounting services, if you're thinking about starting a business, they're the #1 business to own and operate. The second secret that we're going to be sharing today is that it doesn't have to cost you thousands of dollars to start your practice. You can start your practice for under $100. And we're going to walk you through that today. The third secret that we're going to be sharing is that marketing it should be a formula. Who likes formulas? I mean, that's all that bookkeeping and accounting and taxes is. It's just a formula. So if you like formulas, then you should enjoy marketing. Marketing doesn't have to be this daunting task. It really should be a seamless process. Find the formula that works for you and follow that formula. Look at what other people have done to gain success, to get clients, to build practices, and copy what they're doing. And that's what Universal Accounting stresses. That's what we teach. This is the formula to say the right thing to the right people in the right way. So secret #1, accounting services are the #1 businesses to own and operate for yourself. Forbes magazine has said that the #1 business to own and operate is accounting services. There's 3 reasons. First off, the pricing power. I mean, who needs accountants? everybody needs accountants. If you own a business, you have to be working with a bookkeeper and accountant to get your numbers put together so you can provide that information to the IRS, or if you're up in Canada, CRA, you've got to have those numbers put together. So the demand for this business, it doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter if you're in Australia. It doesn't matter if in the United States. The demand for this service will never be met. There are more businesses that are out there, and I'm going to show you that here in just a minute, but there are more businesses that are out there that need our services than there are qualified, competent accountants and bookkeepers and tax preparers to provide the work. The second reason that Forbes magazine says this is the #1 business to own and operate is because the cost to run the business is so low. We're going to go through that as well so you can get an understanding of just how much money you have to commit to start this practice. The third reason is the marketing scale. We're looking at monthly billable return revenue. There is a hierarchy of recurring of revenue in a business, a hierarchy, and monthly return subscription clients, those are at the top of the list. If you've got a bookkeeping client, they should be a monthly bookkeeping client. None of this quarterly stuff, none of this semi-annual or worst case scenarios, which I know is going on out there, annual. We're talking monthly bookkeeping clients. If you're doing taxes, it's an annual thing. I mean, if you're working with your bookkeeping clients, you're doing quarterly tax filings. So these are the reasons that Forbes is saying, look, if you're thinking about starting a business, accounting services are #1. Anything you want to add to this, Roger?
Well, I'll share that one of the things that I think is important to realize is a lot of accountants and bookkeepers that I've spoken with have a joy, a love for the accounting. They enjoy doing the work, but what they wonder is, are they self-convincing that there's actually an opportunity or a demand or a need for accounting services? And so one of the things that I think is important to recognize here is, in fact, it's not just them conjuring up in their own minds the rationale, the justification to say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this because there is a business. Well, the numbers substantiate it. The reality is accounting is the second oldest profession for a reason. Everyone is always interested in tracking and keeping a tab on all of their finances and all of their commodities. And so what we want to do is, when we're working with these clients, understand that they need this information to run their businesses more effectively. So if we can see that we serve a value, that there's actually, this is one of the things that I'll say, that accounting is sometimes perceived to be that necessary evil in business. That's something that you have to do. Government requires it. But what we're talking about here is, in reality, it's an asset to the success of any business. And when done correctly, a bookkeeper, accountant, tax preparer is doing a favor to the business owner. It's empowering them to make more educated business decisions. And so what we see with the slide that you were sharing is that there is a market, there is a demand, it serves a purpose, and people are willing to pay for it because when it's done correctly, it's helping them be more profitable in the business that they run.
When it's done correctly, it's an investment in their profits. We've got to change that paradigm that's out there, that exists, that a lot of times we've created it ourselves in this industry, that it's just another operating expense, so I'll do it for the cheapest amount possible so you can save money. That's not the point. The point is, if it's done correctly, it's an investment in profitability, period. So let's get into where the opportunity is at. In the United States, there's 27.6 million businesses that are registered. This is all coming from the Department of Commerce. In Canada, there's 2.4 million businesses that are registered according to Industry Canada. So lots of opportunity out there, but the problem is this number, this actually is representing all of the businesses that are out there. This is the large corporations. And so to really give a better understanding of where the right opportunity is, we've got to break that number down. And so what this pie chart represents is, these are businesses that are broken down by the number of employees that they have. So if you can see the blue sliver, and if you'll notice, the resolution hopefully is clear enough on your screen that you can see that in the far left-hand side, there is a tiny little sliver in that blue sliver. That represents 0.4%. So not even a full 0.5%, not even a full percent, 0.4% of the businesses that are registered in the United States have 100 or more employees. The larger blue sliver represents 2% of the businesses that are registered, and those are the businesses that have 20 or more employees, 20 to 99 employees. So a lot of the times when I'm speaking with individuals, they say that they're looking to start their own business, and or they're trying to get a job, I should say, in the accounting industry. And so they just find that they're just sending out resume after resume after resume after resume, and they're not ever hearing anything. And the reason for that is because they're competing with every other degreed accountant and CPA and designated accountant for 2.4% of the jobs. The market is ripe for opportunity with businesses that have less than 20 employees. Almost 98% of the businesses that are registered have less than 20 employees. So that means in the United States, there's 27 million businesses that are registered that have less than 20 employees. Now, it didn't used to be this way. It used to be the opposite. But technology has changed. People got laid off. People started their own businesses. Computers became more affordable. People stopped working for the larger corporations because they thought, I can do this myself. I can do this better than it's being done right now. So that's why we've seen this paradigm shift in the industry, in that small businesses are out there. Small businesses are the ones that need these services that we're offering. Because
well, let me pause you right there, Scott. I need to throw this in here before you move on. I think the other thing to recognize is these small businesses also don't have enough accounting transactions or needs to warrant having anyone come in and work full-time. And so all of these organizations at that level are in need of outsourcing and getting a vendor, you, the accountant, to do this service for them on a regular monthly basis. And so they have transactions, but not enough to actually warrant a part-time or full-time employee to be dedicated to this. And oftentimes what they unfortunately do is they take someone who does not have accounting skills, and they take an administrative person, an office manager, perhaps even a spouse, and they say, hey, here's what I need you to do. And they just do the surface level accounting processes. And if nothing else, they start making mistakes. And what we want to do is recognize that you have a value to offer to these businesses that will enable them to be more successful. So we want to get out there and realize that you serve a need. You have a role to play within the business community.
I think it's also important to note, since we're talking about numbers here, this 27 million, that only represents the businesses that are registered with a license. How many businesses are out there that are operating without a formal type of structure or license for their business? I can think of half a dozen people that I know personally who are operating with a business that are bringing in revenue, that are responsible for reporting that revenue, and they don't have any type of business license. So they wouldn't be counted in this number that's out there.
I just had a conversation with someone whose wife was doing a hobby, and she was doing things from home, and she was selling goods, and it turned out she was making quite a bit of money. And the husband had to point out, do you realize you're running a business? You're going to have to pay taxes on this. And she was totally oblivious to the fact that she was running a company because she liked this for fun. She thought she was just doing it on the side. And I think the same is true for—
I was making a little bit of extra money. What are you talking about?
That's right. And at the end of the day, it's a business. And so often you run into the casual plumber that just thought that they were doing themselves a favor, getting some side jobs. And yeah, they started at the beginning of the year just doing a side thing here this weekend, after evening thing over here with a friend or family, and they get paid for it. And it snowballs. Well, at the end of the year, they're actually getting some revenue from work that they're doing on the side. Maybe they haven't in their mind quit their job, therefore they haven't started their business. But at the end of the year, if you add up all the revenue that they've made from the work they've done, believe me, the government would say, you've got a business going on here. So that happens, and that obviously just is a testament to there's more than just the 27 million in the United States or the 2.4 million in Canada or elsewhere who are in business, but they just haven't made that psychological switch to realize that they are such. But regardless, they still need accounting. They still need to track the numbers. They still need to pay their taxes. So there you go.
Again, it is another testament to the fact that they don't know what they don't know.
Yes.
And if they don't know what they don't know, then that means that they're potentially opening themselves up to penalties and fees and money taken out of their bottom line that just decreases the profitability of those businesses. So we have almost a moral obligation to go out there and talk to those 27 million people and say, hey, look, I understand you're a landscaper. That's your gig. You started your landscaping business because you enjoy doing landscaping, and you worked for somebody else for 15 years and you got into a fight because you didn't want to wear the uniform. And so you left and you started your own landscaping business because you wanted to do your own way. But that doesn't change reality. And the reality is you're responsible for this information to get reported. Because see, there's three functions that have to happen in business for every business to work properly: accounting, marketing, and production. Now, let's look at that landscaper that I just brought up, okay? The guy that quit the landscaping job that he had done for 15 years to leave the company to go start his own landscaping business. He did one of those Jerry Maguire things. It was like, come on, let's go start our own company. Who's coming with me? So he takes the team of landscapers, they go out, they get a loan, they buy the equipment. Now they have a business. Now let's ask this landscaper on a scale of 1 to 10. We're going to look at these three functions. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you say production is for your business? They're going to tell you a 10, right? It's what they know. It's what they do. So they're going to say, yeah, we're at a 10. All right, cool. What about marketing? On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you say marketing is? Then they're going to kind of laugh and go, oh, 4 or 5, because the old gig that we used to have, we would print up flyers and we'd staple a rubber band to it and we'd put it on the doors of the homes that we were working on in the neighborhoods. And so, yeah, probably about a 4 or 5. Great. What about accounting? On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you say accounting is? Now, remember, this is the guy that was the landscaper that never saw a profit and loss statement before. Didn't know anything about payroll taxes, didn't know anything about bank reconciliation or benchmarking. And we're going to ask this guy, this business owner that's got less than 20 employees, one of the 27 million that are out there in the United States, we're going to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your accounting? What's he going to tell you? Yeah, that's a 0. That's what in the industry we call a small business bookkeeping system. How many business owners rely on this as their bookkeeping system? This is why when the Pew Research Center did a study of small business owners and they asked them to list the #1 accounting service in the nation, the top answer was H&R Block. Because this is the strategy that they employ. They put everything into a shoebox, or at least everything that they can remember to put into the shoebox, everything that they can find, and they stick that in the closet, and they wait until the end of the year, and then tax season comes, and then they go and do their, and I'm doing air quotes here, accounting. They take it to their accountant at H&R Block. And that's accounting. Is that accounting, Roger?
It is not.
It's not accounting.
What frustrates me is the fact that people presume tax is accounting. Taxes is a one-time yearly event. It's when you prepare those statements and you turn
Right.
them, you pay what you owe. But what we're talking about here is accounting should be a regular monthly occurrence that's going on with the business. Accounting today is no longer a historical event. Accounting today is a real-time experience. And so business owners today need to know right now what's going on in the business. They don't need to know what happened a month or a quarter ago. They need to know what's happening today. And so in order for a business owner to be strong and pivot on what's going on in their business and make intelligent business decisions, they can't wait with the shoebox to take it to the tax preparer and say, here it is, prepare my taxes. What we need to do is we need to be seeing ourselves as helping these business owners more efficiently run their business with intelligent information. And so that's one of the things that we strive to do within the accounting profession, is empower you, the accountants, to actually have these types of relationships with your clients so that they can have the information they need to run their businesses. And so I can't speak enough about this whole point.
Right. Now, look, let's step back. Obviously, the business owner, they're going to control certain aspects of their business. Why don't we just let them do what they do best? We'll handle the accounting, because the whole point of the accounting, like I said just earlier, is to make it pay for itself. Tell me right here, is that paying for anything? Absolutely not. Where's the wisdom in that? There is no wisdom. The objective is to take these businesses that we're working with, take that data that's in the shoebox, put it into a practical application like software or Sage or Xero or whatever the bookkeeping software is, and get that information in the form of the KPIs, those financial reports. But it's one thing to get the reports, it's another thing to do something with those reports. And what universal accounting does and excels at is teaches people what to do with that information. Because that information is going to indicate where there's problems and opportunities and strengths and weaknesses in the business. And if you are a bookkeeper that wants to go and tell people that you can pay for yourself, then this is what you should be doing. You should be trained and you should be competent in a multiple variety of different industries to be able to get those reports and know what to look at to show them what they need to see so they can start to gain knowledge about what works in their business. Ultimately, with that knowledge, that business owner starts making decisions not based on the data anymore, but they're making it based on the wisdom with what they've learned from you, because that's what you do best. They run the business. They go work on the business. You get to work in the business. Let them go do the production. Let them manage the marketing. That's fine. But they got no business in the accounting. That's the point we're trying to make. So if you want to know where the opportunity is, it's with these small business owners. They'll pay you anywhere from $400 to $500 a month. That's almost $5,000 to $6,000 a year. According to the AICPA, CPAs were reporting that their clients were staying with them between 5 to 7 years. So that's $29,000 to $36,000 is the lifetime value of these clients. It's worth it for you to learn who they are and to be able to not just have the confidence to go out and find them. That's great. But it's one thing to find them. It's another thing to keep them coming back month after month after month. And that is where universal accounting steps in. That is where universal accounting helps you be in business for yourself, but not by yourself, because we teach people how to get those clients coming back month after month after month.
Well, one of the things I think we really strive on is, if you look at an accountant, which would they prefer doing? Going and losing the client they have and spending their time marketing and trying to find the next, or putting in a little bit more effort to retain the client that they currently have, to continue that relationship and actually have them pay more for the coming years for the services that they're providing. And secondly, one of the things that's also key is, within an accounting firm, one of the common questions is we're doing the books, now what can we do? Well, let's do taxes. Okay, what else can we do? Let's do advisory services, consultative services. Let's do benchmarking. There are a number of complementary services that a client can add to their offerings that bring in additional revenue and strengthen the relationship with the client and helps them further retain the client than having to just do some shoddy work, meet with the client once every quarter or every 6 months or once a year, and assume that in today's world that's going to be sufficient to keep them as a client. Too much is needed today in real time to remain in business. And with the various things going on as an accounting profession, we have to recognize that old model doesn't work. And we want to be proactive and be more engaged with our clients, offering a variety of services for which they will pay handsomely and happily for us to do. So that's what we're talking about here.
And you got to ask yourself, what's that worth? What is it worth to be able to offer those services, to have that level of service? I mean, if you're looking back at this and going, okay, each client is potentially worth $30,000 to $36,000. How much am I willing to invest to make sure that I'm getting that full potential from each client that I'm working with? So let's move on. Secret number 2, you can start your practice for under $100, whether it's Canadian or US. And this is what we know. We have helped enough practices to start. This is how it happens. You get business cards. If you haven't started, and if you've already started your practice, bear with us here. We'll get through this quickly. But for those of you that are watching that are going, I'm thinking about doing this, but how much money do I need to spend? Let's answer that. Business cards, I mean, $10 at vistaprint.com. If you're in Canada, it's vistaprint.ca. Sorry, let me get that off there. I need to get that fixed. Vistaprint.ca for Canadian attendees, it's the same price. It's $10 for 500 business cards. Your business card doesn't need to be a resume. Keep it simple. Stick to benefits. We'll talk about that coming up here when we discuss secret number 3. The next thing that you need to do to get started, I don't care where you are. I don't care who you know. I have asked enough people this question over the years of traveling that I've done and teaching seminars every weekend since, 2009. Every practice starts in the same place, and that is by getting referrals from people that you know, who trust you and like you. So the very first marketing expense that you should plan on having is sending out a letter to your friends and family announcing the business. Relax. I know some of you are freaking out right now going, I don't want to be a pushy salesperson to my friends and family. You're not. You're not going to your friends and family and asking them for their business. Most of your friends and family don't own a business. That's fine. What you're saying is, I need your help. This industry is built around trust. It's built around relationships. We want to leverage those relationships of our friends and family. So we want to send a letter and just announce, I'm starting my practice. Or if you've already started your practice and you haven't sent a letter like this out, do it now and say, I'm in the process of marketing. I'm in the process of building and growing my practice. If you know anybody who owns a business, tell them about me. Here's some of my business cards. Put your business cards in the envelope, which is why this is not an email. Don't cheat this. Don't go around the corners. Don't try to save money. Spend what? The $40 to send a letter like this out, maybe even that much. Spend the $40, put your cards in the letter and say, if you send me a referral that becomes a paid client, I'll send you a $50 gift card to somewhere. Everybody loves the Olive Garden and the breadsticks and the salad. So bribe them with the Olive Garden, bribe them with the Tim Hortons gift card, bribe them with a Buffalo Wild Wings, whatever it is, $50 cash, I don't care. That's a marketing expense for you. Send these letters out. I guarantee you, you know somebody right now who will give you a referral, and that will be your first client. Is it worth $40? Send those marketing letters out. It is not an email. It is not, oh, I've already talked to my friend and family and I've already given my business card. I don't care. Send them a letter. There's something about the professionalism that comes through. They see it differently than just talking to you at the family gathering and you handing out a business card. It's different when it comes in the mail. It's on a letterhead. It looks professional. Anything you want to say about that, Roger?
I think too many people underestimate the importance of that. One of the things that's also taught with this, and perhaps I'm off onto a tangent, but one of the things that's so key to sending out those letters and doing them correctly is the fact that it's a psychological thing, which is basically burning the boats, not burning the bridges, burning the boats. And if you're familiar with that analogy, it's essentially saying that you've committed and you're wholeheartedly into this endeavor. You're not saying I'm putting my toe in and I'm going to try starting a business. You're not saying I'm going to give this a try or a whirl. I'm going to try this for a few months. what it is business owners want to know that you're fully committed, that you're in this for the long haul, that you're going to make this happen, and that you're as committed about your business as they are about theirs. And so the way you do this is you send out to everyone what's happening. So imagine now you go out and you visit with your brother, or you go to a church function, or you go to a community event, and people run into you. Well, they got your letter and they're going to ask you, hey, 2 months ago, I heard that you had started your business, or that you were taking on new clients, or you were offering some new services. How's that going for you? The last thing you want to be able to say is, oh, I gave up on that. I sent it out. I didn't really do anything. You sending out that letter means you're now fully committed. You're vested in the success, and you're not going to back out, because every time you go to bed, you're going to be thinking about, crap, I've got to get this thing to work. Why? Because everybody else is watching me now, because you've declared it. And this is the phrase I always use. You've declared it to the universe. You basically said, this is what's important to me, and I'm going to make this happen. And so I really think people underestimate the power of that letter, because really what it boils down to, and it's part of this thing that you were mentioning, Scott, about it being a trusted relationship type business, is you don't know necessarily who they know. You don't know who they know. And they may say, I know someone who needs accounting services, and they're going to highly recommend you because they know your character, they know your background, they're going to be able to speak to who you are. Well, you couldn't get a better salesperson in the world. They're going to speak to someone you had no clue existed and tell them that they're supposed to do their accounting with you. So
and they'll trust them because they like them, and you get to leverage that relationship of trust.
Exactly. It's not so much that you're sending out these letters with the intent that mom's going to become a client, and your brother's going to become a client, and your next door neighbor's going to become a client, and the coworker that you worked with at your last job is going to send you, give you their accounting for their business. No. It's that all of those people know individuals that they're going to then recommend you to. And it's not like this floodgate necessarily opens, but it never fails. If the right letter is sent out, when it does, it will bring in clients.
Here's the thing, and I'm gonna switch my coaching hats really quickly, because Roger said the universe, and we're gonna declare it to the universe. A couple of points here. This is visualization 101. You are putting together a professional letterhead. You are putting your letters in the mail. You are declaring it to the universe and your friends and family. And this is an excellent strategy for you to visualize and attract those clients. Now, one of the things that I hear as a marketing coach with the students is, come on, is it really going to be that easy for me to get a client by sending a letter to my friends and family? And what blocks that from happening is that stupid paradigm that it's got to be hard. It's got to be difficult. Getting a client can't be that easy. That's just rational, progressive thought that has slowed people down for thousands of years. Stop thinking that way. Get out of that paradigm, shift, and realize that if we're teaching this right now in this webinar, it's because it works. Out of all of the strategies that Universal Accounting teaches, this is the first strategy we teach. I don't care if you think it's antiquated, do it.
Because it works.
It works. The next thing you're going to need is the software. Everybody is using QuickBooks Online these days. QuickBooks Online is going to set you back $30 a month. So drum roll, please. The cost to start your business, $79.99, give or take a few bucks and some change. Less than $100 to start your practice. Why is right now the best time to get started? Because tax season is coming. My kids start making their Christmas list about this time of the year, and I know it's time to start getting clients with my clients because tax season is coming, just like the snow's about to start falling. So get your business up and running. Secret number 3 is that marketing should be easy if we say the right thing to the right people in the right way. The problem is, this is what people are saying when they're out there marketing their practices. And I know this because I attend BNI. I go to networking meetings. Roger, I'm sure you've gone to plenty of functions where you've heard other CPAs and accountants and tax preparers saying the same things. They'll introduce themselves and they say, oh yeah, I do tax planning and tax preparation. I can set up management controls. I do cash flow management. And it's great because, yes, I get it. They're speaking the language that they understand, that they went to school to earn that knowledge and that wisdom about. But these things, go back to that landscaper that we were talking about just a while ago. What does the landscaper know about tax planning and tax preparation? When he hears tax planning and tax preparation, he's not thinking anything good. He's hearing taxes. When he hears management controls, I guarantee you the one word that he is zeroing in on is control. He doesn't want you to control him. It's his business. Why am I going to hire you to tell me what to do? Or worse, why am I going to hire you for you to criticize me for the mistakes that I've made? The third, cash flow management. Oh my gosh. Business owners struggle to understand these things. One of my students in Albuquerque, New Mexico, called me up. She had a brand new client that she had just signed up. She had agreed that it was going to be $400 a month. He signed. She's looking at his chart of accounts, and she notices this unmarked account, and he was paying $400 a month for it every month. And she said, so what's this $400 for? And this guy let his chest swell up with pride and was thought that he was just the sharpest tool in the shed, and said, oh yeah, I just budget $400 every month, and that covers all of my overdraft fees from the bank. $400 a month. She looked at him, she smiled, and she said, well, congratulations. I just paid for myself. So these things are features. These things aren't going to sell you anything. Features don't sell. It's benefits. I guarantee you, when you're talking to business owners and you say tax planning, management controls, cash flow management, the only thing that they're hearing from you So what we've got to do is we've got to find a way to communicate the benefits. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, sell the sizzle, not the steak. Nobody cares about what you do. They care about what they get. So if you're going to be marketing the right way, you've got to get rid of features. There's a time and a place for features. Don't get me wrong. When you are sitting down and you're making your full presentation, you're going to have the opportunity to talk about tax planning. You're going to be able to talk about what those management controls are going to look like and how you're going to use that information. You'll be able to discuss what it means to have cash flow management. But when you're going out and you're marketing and you're spending money to try and reach the right audience, you can't lead with tax planning and tax preparation. What's the benefit that comes from tax planning? The benefit should be that you can legally lower their taxes. What business owner cares about that? I ask you that. When you're talking to a business owner and you say, did you pay more in taxes than you wanted to last year? I guarantee you the majority of people are going to answer yes. So the question is, so what have you done differently? Because see, I work with my clients and I help them legally lower their taxes. The benefit of management controls, don't say control. The whole point of management controls is to increase profits. It's to eliminate unnecessary spending. It's to cut back on those expenses that aren't paying for themselves. And summed up in a nice, neat little package with a bow on top is the benefit that I can increase your profits. I should be working with my clients and helping them find ways to increase their profits. Does that interest you? Of course they're going to say yes. Cash flow management, the whole benefit of cash flow management. Think about the guy in Albuquerque. What didn't he know? He didn't know how much money he really had in the bank. If he'd been working with his bookkeeper prior to signing up with her, he wouldn't have had to have been budgeting $400 a month because he didn't know what he had in the bank. That's why he was getting those overdraft fees. So the benefit is you'll know how much money you have in the bank so you can operate and grow your business. Benefits sell. Stories of what you've done to lower taxes and increase profits and put money in the bank. That's what's going to get you the appointment to sit down and make your presentation. So the secret is it can be seamless if you learn to say the right thing to the right people in the right way. Anything you want to add to that, Mr. Connect?
Well, one of the things that I would stress is just that when you're talking to a business owner, you're hoping to say something that will catch their eye as one, something they've not heard accountants say. You don't want to be that typical accountant. So you want to sound differently. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But to say what you just shared, Scott, is I think key to say things that the business owner hasn't heard from other accountants, and they're going to be curious why you're speaking differently. Interesting. You're willing to work with me to help me lower my taxes. Okay, you've got my attention. I'd like to pay less. I worked hard for that money. You're interested in helping me make more profits. Putting profit first is something we're going to be talking about here shortly. What they need to know is that at the end of the day, there's going to be something left over, that this was more than just a hard job. It was actually something profitable. But then lastly, it all comes back to cash flow. Cash flow is key, but the point is we want to know that there's money in the bank. That's the whole issue. It's not so much where the money's coming and going. They want to know at the end of the day that with your help, there's always something left over, and that they can be running the bank or business because there's money in the bank. And so you share those three things, you've got their attention. That's the first step in the marketing, is now getting their attention. Now that you have their attention, they're interested in learning more as to how your firm is different than all the others out there. And again, I cannot stress for you enough, in the accounting profession today, there is a strong shift happening, and it's happening just like from when we were using ledgers and journals to do accounting and moving over into software. Software has perhaps been one of the biggest revolutionary changes to the 500-year-old accounting process. Debits and credits didn't change. It's how we work through and manage the work of those numbers. Well, the same thing's happening now with artificial intelligence, with AI, and you're seeing a change in the role of an accountant in what you're supposed to be offering as services. And we're going to be talking about those shortly, but this is that first step.
Yeah, absolutely. I want you to know how many people have had to pay for this information that you guys are getting for free today. People have had to pay to work with coaches to discover these secrets, and you're getting them for free. And I want you to step back and realize this is what coaching is about. You're all getting coached right now. You realize that. That's the point of working with a coach, is to get the perspective that you might be missing out on. And don't get me wrong, I get that CPAs, they understand what they do and that there's wisdom behind that, but you can't market that way. And that's why you need a coach to help you understand the perspective of the landscaper and the business owners that you're working with that don't speak your language. That's why coaching is such an important part of being successful in business. Working with a business coach that can give you the perspective that you are blind to because you are down working in your business. The same way that your clients need to be working with you and you become their coach, don't you think that it would be wise for you to be working with a business coach, a consultant, a marketing guru that can help you improve your profits as well? That's the whole point. So let's talk a couple examples of people that we've worked with that have applied these principles. First guy here is Scott Barhold. Scott is a CPA, had a business called Space Coast Profit Experts out in Orlando, Florida. And when we first started working with Scott, Scott was able to go out and get clients. He didn't have a problem with that. Do you know what Scott's biggest problem was, Roger?
Retaining them.
Keeping those clients. He would go out and he'd get 3 or 4 clients and he'd have them, and then 2-3 months later he'd have to start over, and he'd have to go out and he'd have to get more clients and spend more money on marketing, and then the attrition rate would kick in and he'd lose those clients. And so he kept going through this vicious cycle of getting clients and losing clients. And we spoke on this previously. Having the confidence to get clients is one thing, but having the competency to keep those clients coming back, that's another. So we worked with Scott. We coached Scott through the process. We taught Scott how to service all different types of industries and how to offer the premier service that kept those clients coming back month after month after month. You'll hear a little bit more from Scott later on. Beth is the second student that I want to talk about. This is a student who had no formal training whatsoever. She was working in the industry and thought, you know, I bet I could do this. I bet I could do my own bookkeeping practice and work for myself and decide who I worked with and work from home and enjoy all those benefits that we haven't even talked about, the benefits of working from home. So she did. She got enrolled as a student with Universal Accounting. She got enrolled in our master coaching program. She paid extra money to get an extra level of coaching support and accountability. And guess what happened? She built a practice that at one point was billing $240,000 a year in annual billings. The third person is Heather. Heather is a student of ours from up in the Great White North. She's from Ontario, Canada. And Heather was tired of working in the industry and being treated poorly. She was tired of being discriminated against because she was just a bookkeeper. And so she took our course so she could get certified as a bookkeeper and start her own practice. I just saw Heather recently. She's doing amazing. She's running a phenomenal business up there. So these are the type of students that we work with. Formal CPAs that need that guidance and direction. People that don't have formal training that want the accountability and want the direction. And people that do have degrees but realize that they could do it by themselves and struggle, or work with the experts and get results faster. So let's take a little bit of an inventory as to where we're at just in this past hour. We've been talking about a lot of things, and I hope that you would agree that this has been time well spent for you and for your practice, and that you've got something from this webinar that's going to help you move forward. Now, unfortunately, I don't have enough time today. Roger doesn't have enough time today. We've got other things that we need to be working on. We can't discuss everything to coach you in this hour. Even if we had all day, we wouldn't even be able to get to the tip of the iceberg. So we've put together a special offer so you can get everything that you need to know. And like we said at the beginning of this webinar, this has never been done before. This offer that we're about to share with you has never happened in the history of Universal Accounting. Am I wrong, Roger?
Nope, you're exactly right.
So if you're willing to make an investment in yourself, and if you will act fast, and if you can make a decision today, we are going to, I'd like to call this the fire hose offer, because get ready. You're about to get a very special deal. Now, as a coach, I get it. I understand this principle. Old habits die hard. You probably have been raised to think in the way of, you know, I've got to step back. I've got to look at things. I got to make a reasonable decision. I need the time to be able to make that decision. But I think that if you can step back and look at this offer, you're going to be thrilled at everything that we're going to be throwing your way right now. And I can't wait to see the response that we get from this, because I know this is the best thing that Universal Accounting has ever put together in the history of the company. And I'm really excited that I get to be a part of this and a part of the direction that this is going to take you and your business. So what the offer is that we've put together that you're going to get. We want to coach you. We want to be your coaches. We want to be your mentors. We want to take you by the hand and guide you through the process of growing a successful practice. And so what we've put together is, for the next 3 months, we are going to work with you one-on-one and coach you once a week, 4 sessions a month for the next 3 months. So you're going to get 12 structured business coaching sessions with our marketing coaches, with our practice development coaches, with our value builder coaches. This is a phenomenal offer. Now, this is just the beginning, so keep that in mind. Roger, what do you want to say about the 12 business coaching sessions?
I want to stress, I think, something that is sometimes overlooked. One of the things Universal Accounting does very, very well is coach its students, its alumni, on what it is that needs to be done, why it needs to be done, and how they can do it effectively in their firms. So one of the things that we want to do is recognize that in business, there are some generalities, And if you try to get caught up in those general terms, sometimes what happens is you find that your firm is unique, that maybe you needed to tweak it or adapt it. But when you're working with a coach, you're able to ensure that with their advice, their expertise, you are going to take off those rough edges and do things more efficiently and effectively every single time. And so one of the things that I pride Universal Accounting as being able to offer is we have a number of very seasoned and trained coaches that have the skills and the expertise that we're going to be discussing here shortly to help you as a firm grow your business effectively. So just to give you a very simple point, all of our coaches have their own practices. They're living in your mindset. They're actually in the process of growing their firms as well. They're talking to other practices and they know what's working. And so in the case of Scott, as an example, he just shared that he ran into Heather. What he's doing is regularly speaking to and interacting with people across the country, in the United States, in Canada, elsewhere, where they're actually implementing strategies that work. Here, try and do this. That don't work. Hey, don't do this, avoid it. It's not working anymore. And what you're doing is you're able to afford then the opportunity to grow your business with confidence because you've got the coaches that you need to ensure that you're going to do this right.
I want to make sure and make this point extremely clear for those of you that are listening. This structured coaching, we're not just talking about marketing. We're not just talking about your business. As a certified practitioner of the law of attraction and as a coach that works with people beyond all spectrums, not just in business, there are things that we've got to put some energy and some attention into. I'm talking about helping you shift from those limiting beliefs, those paradigms that have unfortunately been downloaded into you throughout your life by looking at examples from your parents and your bosses or other people, your teachers, who have programmed these thoughts that aren't true into your mind. The first thing that we've got to do is we've got to get clarity on what you want and make sure that that's what our focus is. Because I'll tell you what, without that, none of this matters. I have seen enough people fail because they could not get past their own limiting beliefs. So the first thing that we've got to do is gain that clarity and shift you from your limiting beliefs and prioritize and delegate with accountability. Then we can move into the marketing, and then we can talk about your business, and we can help you understand what needs to happen so you can get the same type of success. If you were to seek out this level of coaching in the coaching industry today, I mean, let's just go right to the top. What do you think Tony Robbins does? That's exactly what Tony Robbins is coaching people on, and he charges millions of dollars for that. You're going to get the same level of coaching support that the top coaches in the industry are offering based on clarity, the law of attraction, paradigm shifts, what things you need to be focused on so you can make these practices manifest. That's where we're going to start. And then we're going to get into the marketing and the business development and coaching and turning you into that same type of coach. So those sessions, those 4 sessions a month for 3 months, the cost for that is $3,000, which is actually extremely, that's a great deal.
So
I'll just say that.
I'm going to ask you 5 things. These 5 things are exactly what you need in your business to be successful and what the coaching is going to enable you to focus on. First and foremost, whether you be a small practitioner, just a sole practitioner yourself, or whether you have a practice with employees, you first of all have to understand that you need to be able to manifest and engage in your business with clarity, that you can be the leader you need to be, that you can wake up in the morning and not have this pit in your stomach and want to procrastinate or not go to work. You're actually excited and you have that zeal, that desire to go out there and make a difference. And working with the coach, that's the first thing we're going to do is make sure that you have that energy that you need that everyone else can draw from. your clients, your employees. They need to see that you have a vision of the future, that you can see where this is all going and that you're excited about it. But the second thing you need to recognize is, as you're the leader of your business, there's no one else in your organization that can work on the company. Whether you're a single entrepreneur or you're actually running a firm, you are the only one that can work on the business. And so in order to do this, we're going to focus first and foremost then on revenue. Strategies of tried and proven marketing techniques to help you acquire the new clients that you need to get paid what you're worth. But the third thing I need you to focus on is I need you to recognize that you're going to be doing obviously all of this with the intent of making profit. You're trying to do this to make money in your business. Just this last week, I spoke to some firms, two people that ran accounting firms, where each of them spoke of times this last year where they've not been paid because they've been having to pay the payroll of their employees. The accounting business is not void of all these problems that small businesses have. And as you go through these challenging times, what can we do to ensure that you avoid those experiences, that you can in fact have profit always appearing on the bottom line? And what we want to do is give you the ability to, in a very proven process, ensure those profits and put the profits first. And that's something we're going to talk about shortly. The fourth thing is value building. There are 8 specific things you need to be doing in your business that only you can do to ensure that your company is actually worth something, that it's a self-sustaining entity. It's a business that is separate from you. That's huge. And what we want to do is build a business that has value, because you can sell your clients, you can sell your business. Let's build a company that has that worth. For many of you, maybe your retirement plan. Excellent. Let's build that company you can be proud of. But the fifth thing, and I perhaps think this is perhaps the most overlooked thing as well, because it is kind of your core, is understanding the accounting. It's kind of the cobbler experience. The cobbler's sons, they don't have any shoes. One of the things you need to recognize is, because you do accounting, you still need to do the books in your own business. And you need to be watching certain numbers. And there are certain KPIs that are essential for your business success. Well, what are they and what should you be watching? Working with a coach, you're going to be able to, first of all, manifest and engage. Be that leader you need to be. You're going to be able to understand the accounting for your company and what KPIs you need to be watching. You're going to be able to focus on proven revenue producing strategies. You're going to be able to put profit first. And then the fifth thing is obviously that of building value. Building a business you can be proud of, not a job, a business that you're the owner of. And that's what we're talking about here, all of which is going to be addressed in the coaching that you're going to receive.
I'm going to just really quickly coach you. So if you're at home and you're listening, or if you're in the office and you're listening, I want you to get a piece of paper and I want you to get your pen out really quickly. I'm going to ask you a question. If you can answer yes to any one of these questions, you make a check mark on your piece of paper for every yes that you can answer, okay? Have you ever said to yourself, that's not going to work for me? That might work for other people, but that's not going to work for me. Go ahead and make a check mark if you've ever thought that to yourself. If you've ever said to yourself, I don't like to make sales, marketing, that's not what I do. I'm an accountant. Accountants aren't meant to be marketers. We're meant to be sitting behind the desk and working on the numbers. Why don't you go ahead and make a check mark if you've ever thought that to yourself. If you've ever questioned, why aren't people working with me? Why don't people want to work with me? How come nobody wants to work with me? Go ahead and make a check mark right there. And I want you to add it up, okay? If you got 3 check marks, you need to take advantage of this offer and hire a coach. If you got 2 check marks, you need to take advantage of this offer and hire a coach. And if you got 1 check mark, you need to take advantage and hire a coach, because you've got limiting beliefs that are going to prevent you from getting where you need to go. Now, let's move on. Who has this worked for? We told you, Scott Barhold, the CPA, who had all the designations in the world, but couldn't keep the clients coming back to be able to get to those monthly billings that he needed. The student up in Canada who was tired of working in the industry and wanted to get out on her own and knew she needed the guidance and direction to make it happen. The last person, the individual that had no prior bookkeeping, accounting, or tax experience, but was able to turn her success into a practice that was building $250,000 in annual billings. This program works if you follow the program and if you are coachable. So We had two options, two choices when we started putting this package together. Our first option was to go as cheap as possible and try and sell as many of these packages as we could. The second option, though, it's going to require a little bit more of an investment. But because of that, we know we can guarantee success. Now, I'm going to play you a testimonial really quickly. This is from Scott Barhold. I want you to listen to what he says about the same type of coaching program that we're making available to you today. Listen to where he's at. This is a year after he had been working as a student with Universal Accounting.
Yes, David Sherwood. This is Scott Barhold. It's been 12 months since my first visit to Utah. Actually, this week will mark 12 months. When I came to you, I shared with you my projections for the year were about $33,000 to $36,000 was a 12-month projection for what my business could do. It's been 12 months. I've added up what I started at and where I've arrived. And in 12 months, my billings were a total of $103,000, which is better than 3 times what I projected. I still use what you guys have taught me in practice. Not only have the quantity of my clients gone up, so has the quality. I'm no longer looking for clients that have a pulse and can fog a mirror. I'm looking for clients that value what I do, that I can work with, that are willing to work with me, and understand what I bring to the table. It is not just data entry and let's file it. It's so much more. I truly believe I'm now better able to help my clients, and the clients that I have benefit more from what I do. And all I can say to you and the UAC team is thank you.
I'm going to stop it right there because there was a paradigm shift that he just described that took place. Did you catch it? Did you see it? He says, I'm no longer looking for clients that have a pulse and can fog a mirror. And I ask you, is that what he was focusing on when he was out there looking to find clients? Absolutely, because that was the story that he told. All of my clients, they're barely hanging on by a thread. Why do I keep finding these clients that barely have a pulse and can barely fog a mirror? The story you tell is the life you live, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are telling the wrong story, you need a coach. You need somebody to help you shift from that perspective. Because look at that. Once he shifted and he says, I truly believe I'm now better able to help my clients, and the clients that I have benefit more from what I do. And this guy's billings got to a total of $103,000 in a year. That's not a coincidence. It's because he started working with Universal Accounting's coaches. He had so many people that he had access to. I got to work with Scott as his marketing support coach. There is a reason he became successful. You've got to shift. You've got to realize maybe it's time to tell a bit of a different story. So here's where it starts to get, I don't know how else to describe this, but crazy. Because this is where the offer now goes beyond anything that Universal Accounting has done. The bonus number 1 is what we're going to call this one. Bonus number 1, by enrolling in this 12-week coaching program, 3 months, we're going to give you access to all of Universal Accounting's academic courses and programs. This blows me away that this is happening. But what this means is you will be able to take one of the programs at a time until you complete it. If you want to get certified as a professional bookkeeper, we will give you access to our professional bookkeeper program that the tuition cost is $24.18. Once you've completed that, you can then get access to our QuickBooks program, which is an $800 course. If you want to get certified as a professional tax preparer, you can enroll in that program as part of that $3,000 payment that you're making. At no additional cost, you can get certified as a tax preparer program. Roger, tell them about Profit First. Tell them about the Value Builder program. Tell them about Colored Accounting.
Well, let me start with color accounting. It's right there at the top. One of the things that you need to understand is as an accountant, you use a vocabulary that is different than your clients. And to be able to communicate to your client what is going on in their financials, how to understand their book of business, color accounting is perfect. It's a quick and easy learning for you to realize how to communicate this information to them in a tangible, color-coded way. Imagine kind of like a monopoly board experience where you're able to quickly experience with the client the transactions and have them move around and see how these transactions impact the balance sheet and the income statement. This is huge, and what I'm trying to share with you is one of the challenges that business owners have is understanding the information we're providing, how to use it in their company. And this is a chance for you in color accounting to see how a layperson can experience accounting in a fun and memorable way. That's huge.
Yeah,
Now, the second thing is he obviously talked about the professional bookkeeper program. That's where you learn how to do accounting for small businesses, dealing with the day-to-day transactions of the company. It helps you in running your business be more efficient. And how more powerful to market your services than to say that you and your firm are certified bookkeepers. It's powerful. You've got the QuickBooks specialist. Those of you who choose to use in your firm QuickBooks as the software of choice, you need to become a QuickBooks specialist. It is basically the professional bookkeeper's guide to QuickBooks, to how to efficiently use QuickBooks so that you're doing the best you can in your job, and the tool, QuickBooks, is doing the majority of the work for you. The other thing is the professional tax preparer program. It's where you're able to certify your skills as being able to do both individual returns and business returns. That's huge. That's powerful. And each of these along the way are giving you different things that you need with your coach to actually market these services and acquire the clients and work with them. But Scott, you asked me to speak about Profit First. Profit First, huge. It's this certification here. It's where you're able to be certified as a Profit First professional, and most importantly, address strategies with your clients that enable them to put profit first. Now, I have to share with you, this is disruptive as to the marketing or the accounting process. No longer is it the psyche that you're familiar with of revenue minus expenses equal profits. It's now, let's put profit first. Revenue minus profits equals what we're going to pay the expenses with. And it's not to say that we're changing the structure of how the chart of accounts and how the financial statements are organized. You're still doing accounting the way accounting's done, but it is with your clients a new system, a process to ensure that as they are in business, as you're in business, that you're always putting the emphasis where it needs to be, which is in profits. And the beauty of this is in the Profit First programs, we've got some wonderful marketing strategies, excellent coaches to support and help you, wonderful resources to ensure that you can actually go into the marketplace and be the premier accounting service, offering the things that these clients need. And what's more sexy in your marketing to be able to say that for your clients, you make profit the first priority. That's huge. The other happens to be Value Builder. We spoke of it earlier. Let's address it now. Imagine becoming a value builder provider, that both as a Profit First professional and a value builder provider, you can go in and confidently consult and advise your clients, offering them this additional service for which they will pay for, that you're now able to assist them in addressing what are those 8 things that determine the value of their company. And these are the 8 drivers that you're able to now help them basically incorporate into their company to make sure that their company is not just growing and is profitable, but actually is gaining value, it has worth. So whether your client is needing to go out and actually get loans from a bank, whether they're needing venture capital, whether they're growing and need employees, anyone outside looking into the business with these value builder principles are able to see that the company has worth, and the banks are going to give loans, and the investors are going to invest, and the hiring that you're doing is going to come more easily because the people see that you have a business that is growing, that is sustainable, that is going to be growing bigger next year. That's huge. And so each of these programs really lend to your firm being able to be that premier accounting service in the market. And the other part of the Value Builder program that I just want to end with here is it has also some phenomenal marketing strategies that we're able to use with a lead management system, where you're able to actually generate leads online and more aggressively get into the social media spectrum. both Profit First and Value Builder have some wonderful social media techniques that we're able to help you implement within your company. All of these things are cutting edge in order for you to be able to have the premier accounting service in your market.
I am literally beside myself at the opportunities that I'm going to now have as a coach working with Universal Accounting students to make this just as seamless as it could possibly be. I've coached people for almost a decade, for over a decade now, and I've never had all of these tools available to work with the students. And I hope that you realize the cost of these programs, if you put it together, is almost $11,000. We're offering this as a bonus for the 12 coaching sessions. The bonus of that $3,000 commitment to invest in your business. And this is not going to be for everybody. This is only for the first 30 people. We can't, you've got to act on this. If this is something that you see a value in, you need to jump on it. Right now.
I mentioned something here. One of the things that I think is key is, for example, let's imagine you're a great accountant. You're a CPA, you know accounting, you can do it. Well, then get in, take the exam, get certified as a professional bookkeeper, have that designation and use it in your marketing. But let's presume that you've taken that test, but you're not a tax person. Here's your chance to have access to the curriculum to actually go through and learn how to do tax preparation. Do it for 1040s for individuals, do it for businesses, and in turn then acquire that designation of a professional tax preparer. So I don't know which skill set you already have and where it is you are confident already, but to get the competence you need to go out there and offer these services. Some of these programs you'll go through and you'll go session by session, module by module, take the practice exams, take the final exams and be done. Some you'll be able to, like in college, clep out. I'm already a tax preparer. I already know how to do individual returns. Great, take the test, pass it, just move on. The point is here's your chance to not only get the coaching you need to do what's necessary in your business to be successful, but now have access to the tools and resources all at your fingertips with the help of your coach to do the right things at the right time and the right way. This is huge.
Then the next thing is the marketing support. Bonus number 2 is we're going to give you access to the Universal Practice Builder course, which is an amplified marketing program. There is a module in the Professional Bookkeeper program that covers marketing. This is marketing on steroids, and you're going to get access to this program for free as part of that 12-weekly coaching session program, the 3-month program that Universal is now making available to you. This is unprecedented access to all of the courses that Universal Accounting is offering. I mean, I feel bad. I feel bad for anybody who enrolled last week.
I won't go that far. But the point I want to make is imagine you're getting all these marketing resources, tried and proven techniques that have proven themselves to be effective and inexpensive. We're not saying go out and get a billboard for $10,000 out on the interstate. We're not saying go get a radio ad that doesn't work. We're not saying hire a telemarketer. We're saying these are tried and proven marketing techniques that work for accounting firms, bookkeeping services, tax practices. And what we're also adding here is all of these things are complementary to the things that you're taught in the Professional Bookkeeper program, the Professional Tax Preparer program, the Profit First program, the Value Builder program, with all those tools and all their resources. All of these things culminating in this effort to have you become, in your market, a profit and growth expert, because you're going to now be that premier accounting service.
If you have been thinking about doing this, then this is your green light. I mean, I don't know how much more of a clear sign from the universe you can expect to get than this offer saying for $3,000, we want you to get into this program. We want to work with you. We want to coach you. We want to teach you. We want to train you. We want to show you what other people have done. We want to hold your hand. We want to get you past your limiting beliefs, and we want to see your businesses succeed. That's what this is today. This is your opportunity to turn your business into the sexy, as Roger just said, premier accounting, bookkeeping, tax service. And these 2 bonuses, just I'm blown away at the generosity that Universal Accounting is extending to the students that are out there.
Let me
So
add let me add to it here as well, and this is something that you shared a moment ago. Scott, in the past, as a coach, sometimes you're working with an individual and you're aware of a curriculum, a program that we have that they've not enrolled in, where there are tools and resources they need to be successful, but they've not paid for it. Here's a chance for everyone to enroll and not be overwhelmed. I don't want to imply that I'm suggesting everybody get in and just consume these things and not do anything else. You've got a job. But now, as you're working with your coach, because the primary thing are those 12 sessions in the next 3 months, as you're working with your coach, they're going to be able to work with you in identifying where your strengths are and where those opportunities lie. And they're going to be able, of all of these resources, prioritize with you what you're going to focus on and what you're going to put your time towards. And in doing this, with all of the resources now available to the coach, with all of these things now available to you, you're going to be able to prioritize your time and focus on the things that matter most because you have access to everything.
everything. I mean, this is what the offer is. By signing up for the 12 structured business coaching, mentoring, law of attraction, coaching sessions that manifest and engage, we're going to spend those weeks with you, putting you in the best possible position to build this practice. Now, as the bonus, all of the access to Universal Accounting's academic certification courses. Bonus number 2, the access to the Universal Practice Builder program. I mean, people are enrolling in that program and paying $2,500. People are enrolling that right now. For $3,000, you get the 12 one-hour coaching sessions and the Universal Practice Builder and the bookkeeping course. And I mean, now I want to make this clear. We're not going to expect you to be taking all these programs at the same time. In fact, we're going to limit it. We only enrolled in one program at a time, or active in studying one program at a time. So get started with the bookkeeping program if that's what we feel that you need. Then once you're certified with that, we move you on to the QuickBooks course. Once you're certified with that, we move you on to the tax course. You're going to have 3 months to be able to take your time and go through these programs and earn these certifications. And I think if you can go through all of those programs and get certified in the 3 months by doing those programs one at a time, we'll send you a special gift. I don't know what it is, but we'll send you something. Might be just a pen, but hey.
No, I'll do that. But here's the thing. You do want to focus on baby steps. This is not meant to be overwhelming. It is still, with your coach, they're going to be able to identify where you need to begin. I also recognize that some people are going to say, well, I don't want to do tax services. Well, that's great. Do that program. Some are going to say, I don't want to do QuickBooks. Okay, great. You don't do that program. So it's not intended that everybody do everything. But the whole principle here is the coach has at their availability all the tools and resources they need to ensure your success.
That's why I said this is unprecedented, because having been a coach with Universal, for so long, I've never had all of the tools available like this on this level. I mean, this has never been done before. So if you add it up, we're looking at $16,000 in value with these programs that you're going to get access to by making the decision to hire a coach and get perspective and work with somebody.
So here, let me also throw this in. With regards to the programs, they're typically on average about 4 to 6 weeks to do. Like the professional bookkeeper program, the record is 5 days. That's aside from the people that just take the test and clep out. So these programs realistically can be done in this period of time. And what we want to do is just let you know that the coach is there to help you prioritize and take baby steps and do this in a way that allows you to still keep your job or run your business or do the work for your clients while focusing on these things that you're going to be doing in the coming months to build your firm and grow your business and actually work on your company. Yes.
So if you got the opportunity, and if you could do that, if you could come up with that $3,000 and participate in this exclusive limited offer, and all it did was help you to become certified as a professional bookkeeper, giving you that confidence in working in 12 different types of industries and being able to speak the language of those different industries and keep those clients coming back, or got you certified as a professional tax preparer or a QuickBooks specialist, or got you certified as a profit first professional like Roger was talking about, or added that value to your practice of being able to be a value builder provider. I mean, we've barely talked about how cool Value Builder is, but we're talking about next level when it comes to you now becoming a coach and a consultant with your clients and helping them to build a valuable business. If all it did was gave you the confidence and the competency to go out and build that successful practice, would it be worth it? That $3,000 that you would be investing in yourself? If all this did was gave you that competency to keep clients coming back month after month, so your lifetime value for each client was in that $29,000 to $36,000 range, would this be worth it? If all it did was gave you the ability to work from home when you want, wherever you want, with whomever you want, as much as you want, that's the definition of success, of true success. I think it was Tony Robbins who said that. Would it be worth it to you if that $3,000 investment gave that to you? What's one client worth? One client, the lifetime value of a client, $29,000 to $36,000. What are you willing to pay for that? $5,000, $10,000, $25,000, any more? How much would you be willing to pay if you could get 10 clients that were worth $29,000 to $36,000? This right here, bonus number 3, in case you needed something to sweeten the deal, and I don't know how that could possibly be a thing, but Roger's added bonus number 3, which is access to the BizBench industry benchmarking. This is next level because this really gives you that ability to become that profit and growth expert that we teach about, that we talk about. The ability to take your clients and rank them against the industry standard throughout North America and really help them get a good score for their business. We're not just talking about comparing the business to the business, month to month, quarter to quarter. No, now what we're doing is we're against the competition throughout North America. And you're going to get that as a third bonus by signing up for 12 weekly coaching sessions with Universal Accounting's coaches.
And what's key here is it's not just simply a report that you can run. I want to emphasize that there's 3 key elements to this. One, it helps you in your marketing. Imagine being able in your marketing to be able to say that you offer a service that no other firm offers, where you're able to do the benchmarking report, helping your client, a business, understand how their accounting compares to another, basically their competition, their industry norms. So in doing benchmarking, you're giving yourself a chance in your marketing to say, we're not just looking in a mirror and seeing whether or not you, Mr. Business Owner, Mrs. Business Owner, are doing better this quarter than last quarter, or this year better than last year. We're able to say, how do you compare this year to your competition, your industry norms for last year? And that's huge. The second thing that it also does is it's another revenue stream. It's a report you get to charge for. We have people that charge as much as $500, $1,000, $1,500 for the report itself. And yet the report to generate is very simple. It's simply taking about 25 numbers off of the balance and income statement and entering them in and producing this report based on the NAICS code. How powerful is that you can quickly produce a report that not only shows as an executive summary what's going well in the business and where our areas of opportunities are, but it gives a number of financial data points of your liquidity ratio, your financial ratios, your current ratios. These are things that a client should know, and you're able to position yourself as that expert in providing this information. But lastly, the report takes all those areas of opportunity where the business could improve and do better with their industry norms, and it gives you the suggestions on what needs to be addressed within that company to turn it around. So this is a powerful marketing tool, and at the same time, a wonderful report that you can provide and be paid for producing.
Look, this is what I think is cool. Now, that's Roger's perspective as the president of a company who's looking at the bottom line and looking at cost. Now it's going to come, you're going to get the perspective of a marketing coach, okay? Because if you're offering this report for free, And let's say you're at a BNI meeting, a networking function, and you stand up and you offer this report free to the members, and a couple of people come up to you and they approach you afterwards and they say, hey, listen, I'm going to be, full disclosure here. I'm interested in that report. I think that sounds great, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I already have an accountant and I really don't have any plans of switching. Would you still do the report for me? Absolutely, 100%. Why? Because it gets you in their business. Because you get to sit down with them at their place of business and say, okay, so let's do this report. I need the last 12 months profit and loss statements and balance sheets. Where are they at? And that potential client who at one point was blowing you off and saying, oh, I already have an accountant, looks at you in the eye and says, what are you talking about? I don't have those reports. Should they have those reports? Absolutely. If you're a student of Universal Accounting, you know how important and valuable those monthly financial reports are. So the fact that they don't have those financial reports is an indicator that they're not getting 100% accounting and they need you. And you go, well, I'm confused because you told me that you already have an accountant and that you're working with. And they go, oh yeah, it's my niece. She does my taxes for me. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I don't want to take away the business from your niece, but let me teach you about what it is that I do that makes me different from a tax preparer, if you catch my drift. This is a huge marketing tool, and we want to make this available. And I'll tell you what, this is ridiculous that this is the offer, and this is for the first 30 people. We've talked about the BizBench, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go past that. But can you understand why people are paying us over $15,000 to be enrolled in this program? It's a good deal at the price that it is. We're saying it's $3,000 to get access to all of this information for those people that are watching. But because you're here, I told you at the beginning of this webinar, if you stick to the end, we're going to blow your mind. Because you're here, because you're special, because you stuck it out, because you made the investment of your time, to get started today, it's $999. It's less than $1,000 to sign up today, to start getting the coaching, to get that perspective, to get that clarity, to let us work with you and teach you and train you in the programs that we've got to get started for $999. Only the first 30 people are going to get this offer. It's $999 right now. Then all we're asking for is in the next 2 months, it's $1,000 a month. Click the link, sign up, get started. I'm speechless at what a phenomenal offer this is. Now, you've got two choices. You can do nothing. You don't have to take this leap of faith. You can just keep trying to do things on your own. You can make those mistakes that other people have made in the past. Can you figure this out? Maybe. Maybe you can figure this out on your own. But you run that risk of not having the access and the tools and all of the things that you need to be a modern practice. Or you can pony up. It's a small investment compared to everything that you're getting in return with Universal Accounting. $1,000, $999 to get started today is nothing. Look, we've heard about these three people that have been successful by paying for these programs individually, and now we're going to give you the opportunity to get enrolled into everything and beyond what these students had, to get the level of coaching support that, I'll tell you what, has never been offered before to Universal Accounting students. So here's what you got to do. Click on the link, pay the $999. Let's get you started. Once you're started, we'll contact you. We'll set you up for your first coaching session. We'll start working with you to get that clarity on what the focus for the business is, help you start declaring to the universe and start manifesting and engaging in what needs to be happening in your business, and get your practice open and succeeding and pulling in the clients that you want. So 12 structured business sessions for a minimum of 3 months. Access to all of Universal Accounting's academic certification programs, the access to the marketing, the Universal Practice Builder program, the marketing on steroids, the access to 12 months of industry benchmarking reports, that will give you that opportunity to become that profit and growth expert, to generate extra revenue for your business, to be used as a marketing tool to break down that paradigm of what business owners think we should be doing for them. That's a $17,000 value. And you're given the option to do it now for $9.99 today to get started. So if you don't want to sign up because you need to think about this, that's the old paradigm. We want you to shift to the new you, version 2.0, where those paradigms and those fears and those limiting beliefs don't stop you, because that's the fear, is you don't have enough money. What's the whole point of this program is to make you money, is to help you learn to attract those clients seamlessly. Remember Scott Barhold's testimonial where he said, I'm no longer looking for clients that have a pulse and can fog a mirror? He shifted. He stopped thinking that that's what was out there. And I know that there are clients that are just waiting for you right now. So to think that I don't have enough money is just that limiting belief that's going to stop you from having clients. I don't have enough clients to pay for this. These are just excuses. These are just fears. These are just paradigms. And if you're saying any of these things out loud, that's the clear indication that you need to start working with a coach, not just a business coach, a life coach. That's what I'm certified at doing, is helping people learn to get away from those thoughts, because thoughts become things. And we want your thoughts to be focused on what you really want. So again, what you're getting, the value behind all of this, to become the premier accounting service. Roger, I hear your mic on. What do you want to say?
I just wanted to say, one of the things that I think kind of came to the forefront as we were discussing doing this webinar and making this offer is really giving the coaches all the tools and resources they need to work with the individuals that they're working with. So often, I think what happens is a coach works with the client and has a situation where they know if they were enrolled in one of our other curriculum, there were tools and resources that could have helped address that situation. But all they could work with was what the student had enrolled in and paid for. And so you get off that call, you stop working with that client, you now transition, you're going to start that next conversation with that other client, and you're working with that student and you're helping them with their situation, you're moving forward. Well, they've paid for it and they get that tool and they get to use it, and you get to see them have success. And over here, sometimes you're seeing them being limited. Now, I'm not saying this in a negative way to imply that there's these challenges all the time in the coaching. I'm not in any way suggesting that there's always these hiccups, but I am saying I'm removing all the excuses. I'm removing all of the concerns to simply say, let's just put it all on the table and let's give the coach the ability to pick up what tools they need to ensure the successes of the student. And my confidence in these students, my confidence in these coaches is tremendous, because I know with all of these tools on the table, your success is going to happen. You're going to have, in this coming year, the best year ever.
Yeah. And for $9.99 to get started, $1,000 a month for the next 2 months, you are not going to find a better tool or resource or opportunity or support team, for that matter, to get your business to where it needs to be. So there's the link. I really don't think that there's anything more for us to say except, what are you waiting for? If you want to have that successful practice, this is the universe saying, here you go. You've been asking for resources. You've been asking for direction. You've been asking for support. This is an answer. Take advantage of it. This isn't for everybody. This is for those people that are serious and want to get going and recognize a good deal when it comes along. So thank you for your time, for being here to the end. We are excited to have this offer out there. We're excited for this opportunity. We know what's going to happen. We are not just changing your life. We are changing the life of your family. We're changing the life of the businesses that you haven't reached yet. You are going to make people cry. with the help that you're going to be giving to them. I mean, I've had students that have said, I made another grown business owner cry today because they've been looking for this type of direction. This is the beginning of a huge shift in your life, in your world, and in the world of so many other people. And we are just thrilled to be able to offer this and to be able to start working with everybody. So appreciate so much the time that you've spent. Don't squander it. Don't waste this by stepping back into fear and letting those paradigms prevent you from getting what you want. Take advantage of it. Click on the link, pay the $9.99. Let's get you started. This is the perfect time to take advantage of this opportunity.
This is a limited opportunity. I have to stress there is only 30 that we can offer this to, only because of the fact that the coaches only have so much time that they can work with individuals one-on-one.
Yeah.
So this isn't something like, oh, wow, we got 100. Let's try and fit it in. No, I've only got so many coaches with so many slots that they could fill. And so with the 30, I've felt that this is something that we can easily supply and meet the demands of those enrolling. So 30 is the limit. The other thing I'd like to just compliment and add with Scott's comment, this is something to say, move forward with a positive outlook as to what's going to come in the coming year. Why? Because here you're going to have everything you need to become that profit and growth expert. The trainings and certifications that you need in order to have the competence to go out there and work as a profit and growth expert for your clients, becoming that premier accounting service in your community. So take advantage of this today. Act now. There is no time to waste. Don't leave this up to where all of a sudden we're going to have to pull this down because we filled all the slots. Act now. Let's make this happen. I expect that this is going to go quickly, and therefore, for that reason, I'll have to turn it off, and we'll do so.
We're going to be busy. That's all I can say is we are going to be busy, and I couldn't be more excited to meet all the new students and to start working with them.
Yep, this is the perfect time of year to be able to do all of this and get it done so that you can then focus on your business. So, Scott, well done. Excellent presentation. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
I think this was a wonderful dialogue and conversation, and I truly believe everyone that's been able to listen has benefited from it. So this has been a great time spent.
Don't waste the offer. Go. Click on the link. Let's talk. Go. Get started now.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.
Universal. Business success is universal, and you can be a part of it.